Welcome to Keep Snagging. Playing music. That's what it's saying.
It does.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Lauren Jones.
I'm Simona Roy, and
Welcome
we're
to
back. Oh, yeah. Welcome
Keep
to our
Snagging.
Keep Snacking.
We're back. We're back again.
Yeah.
It took us this is the second time I think this
That
year we've
reminded
been
me
back.
of like the Alyssa Edwards song, right?
That is a RuPaul song.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's an overlap with Alyssa. Yes, for sure. We were just talking about drag before we started the podcast, so it's fresh on the mind.
Brain.
Yes. Well, we missed you, everyone.
Yeah, and I hope you missed us.
Yeah, we do. We really hope it.
Yeah. Did you feel the presence of our absence? The absence of our presence? The absence of our presence.
Our presence. Yeah. I hope you did, because I was
toothless, not homeless. Did you watch? You don't watch the episode yet, did you?
No, I did watch it. Yeah.
You did?
Yes.
Okay, so now you can watch my
so now
Instagram story.
I did. I rewatched it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It made sense now. Yeah, that's also a Beverly Hills reference. So where we're at right now in our life is I am the problem child of 2022.
Well, I mean, I think it's circumstantial. It's not.
It is, but it keeps hitting me. Like there was some kind of like hex.
Maybe you were hexed. I think you have to take a bath in goat milk or something.
Oh my God.
To cleanse yourself of the hex.
As
and then
the Catholic, we would say holy.
I don't know. Yeah. I'm making this shit up. As I consider myself, just a starting witch. We could, yes, you'll have to have a bath of goat's milk, and then we'll, super glue some rose quartz to your forehead. And then
I sound like a troll doll is what is happening.
Well, then it would be in your belly button.
I don't know. Some trolls had jewels on their faces too.
Those are the extra special trolls.
Yeah.
But yes, it seems like you've had a bout of bad luck.
It's been the year. It's been like that kind of a year where, your 2020 was a hard year.
Yeah.
But 2022 has been like the things all happening to me.
Well, I think 2022 has been the worst year yet. I think for everybody.
You still think that too? Okay.
I think so too, because we didn't get a reprieve with COVID this year. Like last year, everybody was like hot girl summer, spring, whatever. We had Delta, and then there was a nice little dip, and then Omicron happened. And since Omicron has happened, we had like maybe a couple of months of reprieve when there was like the COVID numbers went down, and then now they've just been up. Yeah. And there's been no change.
Yeah, it sucks. So I got hit by a car. I was in a car when I got hit, but I was at a stoplight, so it was a sitting duck, and I thought I was okay, but surprised I had a concussion. So we were about to start the podcast back up, and then that happened, and then I got COVID from Brian's son, which I have a lot of things to say about that, but I'm not going to say it on air.
You can't say it on a public forum.
I'm not going to hold it against his son, but I'm holding it against other people. I'm going to say that.
Right.
And, but I was very unhappy about that, because unlike that, I have other friends that were living the life of Riley and getting it, but like at least doing something fun, where I have been still like super cautious about everything I've been doing.
And it came into your home.
It came into my home and it attacked me. So, and I got a really pretty hefty bout of it, considering that I am triple vaxxed and they had me take the Paxlovid. So it's like and I had a lot of bad just side effects from the Paxlovid. So it was rough. So that went longer than I was supposed to be out for 6 weeks. That was what was supposed to happen with the concussion situation. And this added almost 3 weeks to that. So it's been about 2 months that I've been, excuse me for the coughing. I still have this post-COVID cough, but been in the isolation and not doing much. So, and the concussion was no joke either. So Simona's been awesome and supportive. And she's been going through a lot too, and just the flooding of New York City and going back and forth from Jersey and making sure her dad's health is okay and all of the things. So it's been a hectic 2022 nonetheless for all of us, I believe.
Yeah, I believe so too.
And Simona's not doing a bunch of fun stuff either. We're both trying to be cautious.
Yeah.
But she did go see a play. She went to go see Broadway musical.
I saw Into the Woods, then Out of the Woods, then Back in the Woods. You're in the Woods. I mean, that's the whole show. That's the whole show. And I've been in Into the Woods.
She's been the witch.
I've been the witch. That role. And I started auditioning again, so that's been good. Yeah, so just trying to like take baby steps with living life, because this cadence of COVID just being around. And then not only just COVID, there, like, I got very nervous that I could get monkeypox. And granted, I'm not having.
You had the monkeypox happening. Yeah,
the monkeypox, the polio. So every day asking my dad, what have I been vaccinated against? He finally gave me my baby vax card. So I'm good. I'm vaccinated against mumps, measles, rubella, polio, not monkeypox, because our generation was not vaccinated against smallpox because it was already quote unquote eradicated.
Right. Yeah. And you would have like you would know, because
I don't, is like that it's
smallpox. Yeah.
Oh, so the one where like it's on your arm, like all those people. Okay. I didn't know that was the vaccine that scarred you, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's just been a lot of stuff in the world, but we're back.
And we've made it. I came out blonde. I'm loving it right now. I'm like,
it looks really good.
My hair looks terrible right now, for the record.
Well, no, but the color looks great. I mean, I don't think your hair looks terrible. It's just pulled back.
It's just pulled. It's low maintenance right now because I had to go to Kinko's
to blow up the posters.
To blow up the poster boards. Apparently, I did. If you're not watching on YouTube, what I did was,
if you're the one person watching on YouTube,
I did. I took pictures of the 2 lollipops we're trying today.
Yeah.
And I just did their packaging, but I think I'm on a new computer and we have all new equipment too, our mics and all this kind of stuff. We're really jacked up with the good stuff.
Hopefully it makes us sound good and not like banshees or something.
I know. We're praying. But so anyway, the clearness of the photo, I think, plus the clearness of the screen makes it look like Simona pointed out that I went to Kinko's, which is definitely a generational statement, because Kinko's is not a standalone store anymore.
No, I think I would say it's a flat out millennial. Because I was gonna say old millennial, but like we're really just millennials now because Gen Z makes us feel so old. But so I thought she went to what I said was a Kinko's and just blew up 2 posters.
It does kind of look like I blew them up.
The lights, like the way the light's hitting it, it's like you're in your college dorm room. You got your fluorescent overhead lighting, and it's like hitting your 8 Greens poster in a very specific way.
Yeah, I'm mad that you can't see the Tazzy sign, but their packaging.
No, I can see the Tazzy side too.
No, I ended up cutting Tazzy off.
Oh, I see.
The way I placed it, but Tazzy is on my left, your right. But their packaging is very distinctive, so
it's very like hipster cute.
It is hipster cute. So so today we are trying lollipops. So this episode was inspired by our taste-based conversation with Alex, because he was marketing in the conversation, if you listened to that episode, and eating a lollipop. We didn't end up getting the visual for that one. I don't think. That was when we were having some issues with the computers. So that one you didn't see us talking. That's the lost episode that we might get when I recover my old computer to post on the YouTubes of the world. But he was eating a Tazzy lollipop and was talking about it and talking about how awesome it is. And I was like, the lollipop episode would be fun. So also breaking news, at the time when Alex was on our episode, you could not buy the snacks on Taste Space yet.
Right.
You had to just like
there was no
rate
point
them.
of sale on
Yeah.
Taste Space website.
And now there is. And I discovered it because I was looking for Tazzy. Now I will say Tazzy has blown up since, I think. It's also, you could get it at Urban Outfitters. It's like,
it's got that look.
It has that look. So to Simona's point, the packaging is working for the hipster vibes. And we'll talk a little bit about both brands, but so I chose to do Tazzy, and then Simona chose 8 Greens, and let's hear why.
Well, I mean, as our listeners should know, that I buy a lot of things off of Instagram, and I'm very like made for their advertising. And so a story that always shows up for me is like Drew Barrymore waving this 8 Greens lollipop and talking about how amazing it is that you get all your greens from a lollipop. And so I was never going to buy it unless like we did it for an episode, because I just find this is particularly, I feel, scammy. Like if you're trying to get 8 greens in your life, I think that the best way that you can actually do it is like getting 8 different types of greens and like making it a smoothie. Let's be real. Yeah. Something in a lollipop, and like the claims that it makes, and I'll pull up the website when I'm talking about 8 greens, I think is just hilarious, because I'm just like, are you serious? Like, I get it. We can't eat 5 cups of broccoli a day, but you're telling me that 8 Greens has as much, as much vitamin B5 as 15 cups of broccoli in one lollipop. And that's only one of the things. That seems suspect. But I wanted to see if I bet it tastes good because it has 10 grams of added sugar, but it's such a, it's such a lollipop. I mean, you saw it on Instagram too. You knew exactly what I was talking about.
I will say, like, Simona does get more food based ads on her Instagram that I think I do sometimes. I get if I log into our keep snacking Instagram, I'll see them. But on my personal, I'm not doing enough sometimes on Instagram. So I get like random ads. But she was like, there's this lollipop ad. And I immediately was like, no, I've not seen it. And then she's like, has Drew Barrymore in it? And I was like, oh yeah, I actually have seen that one. And I have watched the whole video on it because I was like, what are they pushing in this lollipop? So anyway, so we went for like, and we've had this conversation too about doing maybe like health infused gummies and things like that too. So this ended up kind of checking off a couple of boxes for us this episode, which we're excited about.
Yeah. I still think we should do like a healthy gummy episode, because
I think so too.
The Goli ones I've bought several times, the apple cider vinegar ones,
which I hate the taste of those.
I like them, but I like weird sour things.
But sometimes. I like apple cider vinegar. Like I use a fire cider, which has like a sting to your throat a little bit, almost like ginger, which I also like that to like clear my throat. So I would prefer to do that than the gummy, but yeah, I do think we should do an episode like that. But this one was good. This one is tickling, and we've not tried either one of these, which is trying to be on theme for the year, as well as we're getting through this year anyway. So I'll let you pick, Smos. Which one do you want to do first?
I was thinking about it prior to us recording of like what would be best for our palate. Tazzy is a sour one, so I wonder if we should start with that, since it'll be extra sour if we do it after this week.
All right, so I'm down. So I'll do a shout out to the Harrison kids. They tried this lollipop before I did.
And those are the partner's children.
Those are Brian's kids, yeah. And
I'm opening the bag.
It's okay. I told them it has no sugar in it, and it's made with natural flavors.
I wish that they actually looked nicer. These look like weird drugstore lollipops.
Yeah,
I'm not impressed so far.
Once you pull them out of the package, they look like from the doctor's, like the doctor's office. But their actual packaging on the outside is really dope. You can see it behind me. Simona's gonna hold
it up. And it's each of these packs, and Lauren sent these to me, and the box came with 3 of these. And each of the packs, so 3 packs it came with, is like 7 lollipops. So that's 21 lollipops. That's a lot of lollipops.
Yeah.
And it's also vegan, right? So that's pretty
It's no
cool.
sugar added, natural flavors, vegan, gluten-free, kosher, and made in the US. Um, and it actually comes out of Scarsdale, New York. I'll tell you a little bit about the owners because it's also women owned. But the kids really liked it. They both were like, and the comparison taste was what we got, the watermelon flavor is a watermelon Jolly Rancher. That was what
Oh,
came to
okay.
mind. So I kind of like it.
Oh, and the
knowing
serving
that,
size is 2 pops. That's cool.
so
Not just one.
having candy in the house is of the essence in my life anyway, but now that there's like children around every so often, I kind of trying to be a little more conscious of like the healthy factor, because I forget how kids will gorge candy. Like as an adult, it's very rare that I'm
You at
like,
least have,
ah.
and you have guilt, you're like, I know this is bad for me, but I'm choosing to do this.
Yeah, but kids know no bounds, and then they get sick. I mean, I forgot that happens. They just, it's like, yeah, so you have to be mindful of that that side of the game. So
Yeah.
anyway, so because these were healthier, I was like, this is kind of cool to have in the house. So a little bit about Tazzy. It's a woman owned business, founded by Delilah Hughes and Lindsay Simon. They, I think at the time, were 29-year-old entrepreneurs. And they wanted to distribute a better for you candy. There's like this whole thing called a better for you candy space or alternative sweets. And that's what they set out to do. So it's made with natural flavors, colors from real fruit and vegetable juice. I told you the Lollipops are vegan, gluten-free, kosher, and only 12.5 calories per pot. Pot. Find the products online at Tazzy.co, Amazon, Snack Magic, The Goods Mart. Like I said, you can also find it at
Ooh,
Urban
Snack
Outfitters.
Magic. What's Snack Magic? It's
I don't know. I feel
something I
like
have to
we need
check
to
it
check
out.
that out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can follow them at Tazzy Candy. It's Tazzy Candy. And then of course our friends at Taste Base also sell them. And I know that they were proponents of them because Alex was eating it on our podcast.
Yeah.
There's also a whole nother thing where they do this do good. So they're acai berry lollipops.
Acai.
Acai. Yes. Why don't I say that right ever? Lollipops, they did for breast cancer awareness month. So the do good pops were created in partnership with another set of friends that they had at a breast cancer. So like you can read all about this. I'm not going to go into, there's all these, the MBC research awareness. 10% of the proceeds go from the as a do good purchase. And I believe they're doing more do goods. I don't think that that's the only one. So I said, like, check out, they have all, they have like different flavors of things. We went sour watermelon because I think that's the one that Alex was eating. I think that's why I picked this one. But they also have a spicy mango, an OG, a mashup of lemon, a pink grapefruit. Then there's the acai one that they have, all these kinds of things. The name came from the Tasmanian devil.
Like Looney Tunes?
Yeah. So it's a feisty, strong-willed creature, one of unestimated due to its small, unassuming appearance. The duo looks to this name as inspiration as they continue to tackle the challenges of being two young female entrepreneurs. So I kind of like that too. I think it's like a cute name.
It's Tazzy, it's jazzy.
Yeah. It's razzmatazzy.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're the women are based out of New York. And like I said, they distribute out of Scarsdale. So it's like all, it's women based, it's US based, it
It's New
hits all the
York
marks,
based.
it's snack based. So we're excited. So I say we go in, but
Yeah,
so
I'm
we're trying to
excited. I want to
sour
like it
watermelon. You want to
because I want to
lick it?
try the spicy mango and other stuff too. So my
Yeah.
nose smells like watermelon.
I was like watermelon. Totally like one of Jolly Rancher.
Mm-hmm. I think it's good.
Oh, really good. This tastes exactly like a Jolly Rancher.
It does. And so it's funny that it's like says that it's sour. Maybe like with I mean, watermelon Jolly Ranchers are a little sour, right? But they don't advertise like that.
I think all Jolly Ranchers are kind of sour.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like the longer ones.
Mm-hmm.
You know those longer
the ones
that
get stuck in your
that are a little thicker. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the one that your friend got stuck in his throat with the Coke and stuff, right?
Yeah. We have that story from last year.
These are a win.
These are
really good.
Refreshing. They're like what you would crave if you craved a Jolly Rancher, or dare I say it, it's a different texture, but a Sour Patch Kid. If you needed
it's a perfect hard candy fix for post lunch.
It is. That's what I'm saying.
We're not Kirkovich say from Happy Endings.
Yes, I sometimes want like that's one reason I like having Sour Patch Kids and stuff. It's like a palate cleanser, and I like having sweet in my mouth after I've eaten something savory. This is like a great alternative for that, because I'm not one to. First of all, I don't think they're easy to find anymore. Like a bag of Jolly Ranchers, I haven't tried in a long time, but I feel like around Halloween, yes, but it's not like I'm like going to the store looking for Jolly Ranchers like I used to.
They have those, the same size bag of Sour Patch Kids. They have that same exact bag of Jolly Ranchers. Okay. But not necessarily bigger than that. Like that's the standard size of like what I think is like.
But like when you used to go to the grocery store,
and it was a bit. I also bought, like in the beginning of the pandemic, bulk watermelon Jolly Ranchers, like bulk, and then I threw them out. So
interesting. I think we've talked about this before, and this is maybe my old brain going, but I really like I think this is part of like the being healthier stuff in like the United States or whatever, the stuff that Michelle Obama was doing and what have you. But like, remember she did that like in schools.
No, it's just very funny. Like, in the United States, healthy stuff, what Michelle Obama was doing. Yeah.
But I think that was part of it, right? That was part of her like mission. But I miss
specifically geared towards kids, right?
Yeah. I miss the days of being at the checkout and having a really badass display on your right side of all kinds of candy. Now it's very minimal in the grocery store.
It's like gum, Snickers.
It's not very many. You don't see as many. And then also sometimes there's healthy alternative snacks there too. So like the grocery placements are so different. But I remember going to Genevieve's in New York as a kid, and it was like sky. I mean, I was shorter then, but still felt sky high, where like my mom even had to reach to get stuff. And it was just like gum, 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 hard candy, hard candy, hard candy, hard candy.
Yeah,
chocolate. It was
Rolos.
Yeah. And you had all of the different kind of, Jolly Ranchers that were long. And you had like the watermelon.
I don't think they make those anymore, though.
That's what I'm saying. But you used to see that like as you were going, like leaving a convenience store or like ShopRite.
They were like the size of like Airheads, right?
They had two sizes. They did, yes. At the checkout, usually they had the size of that size, and then they started making them one like half that size. That were flat ones for like Halloween. So you could get like those too.
I haven't been able to stop eating this the whole time.
I know. I've been talking.
I am loving this. But yeah, I'm making all these noises the whole time because we have all this great mic now. So you're gonna hear me this whole time. Sorry.
But I miss those days of like seeing the array of candy. You can do that if you go to CVS or Walgreens and it's underneath the checkout.
Yeah, I don't love getting the candy there. I like getting the candy from the candy aisle. I don't either, because
it's a lot of you got to look.
Well, and then there's no time. You're like standing in line. It's a huge line, slow moving, And then what? You have to like, you better freaking pick out while you're waiting in that line what you want from that array.
And you can't always see it.
Jump to get, yeah, and you can't always see it because
that's where we found the score bar was in that section.
Well, and I have to tell you that my Stop and Shop that I go to in my town, it has done some rearranging of its shelving and it's awful, first of all, because why? Second, they don't have my licorice anymore. You know, my fake licorice that I love?
Oh, yeah.
It's gone. It's gone.
They must have a new buyer for the store.
I don't know.
They went through a refresh.
There's nothing good now. So yeah, I feel you with the candy stuff.
Take me to the candy shop. Yeah, I just miss that. I miss that. It's probably better for America, Michelle Obama. I'm down with you, but there's some days where I like miss that nostalgia and miss that, you know, I'm gonna grab, you know, a big chew because why not?
Big league chew.
Or I'm gonna, yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm gonna grab a roll of Rolos and a roll of sweet tarts, like, you know, just the full on rolls. Like it was back in the day when candy had a little bit more presence in our lives. So, well done, Tasmanian Devils. There's a cool article on this website called Food Drive about them. That's where I kind of found their about. It wasn't, they had a smaller about on their website, but this was like a nice article about them. Bree Rios was the writer of this article, and that was for last year. But I
wonder if they have an assorted box that you could buy, because I would totally buy. I would do that as an episode, like just on their website.
Yeah, their website maybe. But I know, you know, there a lot of these things too. Just like Simona said, you have when you buy like a flavor of something, you either spend out the nose buying one off of Amazon because they don't usually come in a size of one. So, you know, for the podcast, we end up getting more and more items. So just be mindful that you're going to end up getting 3 bags of something, whether you like it or not, you know, and then you got to try it. But sounds like if you want to pop into an Urban Outfitters, they're probably like in the front of the store.
Yeah, like where all the makeup and stuff is.
Yeah. But Delia and Lindsay, well done.
Oh, they've got hard candy too.
Yeah, they have, because again, they're not just, I think they maybe started with Lollipops, but their biggest thing is they wanted, like I said, they're wanted to be in the better for you candy space with alternative sweets that are satisfying, long lasting, full of vibrant and unconventional flavors. So that was their mission. And I think that they're definitely expanding more than when we talked to Alex the end of last year. So that's super exciting. And then, like I said, buy your stuff on Taste Base too. You know, we love supporting them, and because they love supporting, you know, new and innovative companies for snacks, not just the big companies that we know on a daily basis that I was talking about at the checkout. Like, they are supporting these smaller companies, which is great. So now that they have a point of service, you know, go buy something from their website.
Yeah.
So
I'm a fan.
It looks like she's smoking. All right, let's go to Zamboni. Let's go to 8th grade.
Okay, I gotta put this beautiful lollipop down.
Yeah, you do.
I've been sucking on it.
You have a lot more.
Yeah, and I just quickly looked on Tazzy's website. There doesn't seem to be an assorted box, but it looks like they have 3 types of lollipops and also 3 types of hard candy. So if you're like Jane Kirkovich and you'd like your solid hard candy after lunch, then you can go with that. And it was like they have caffeinated mocha flavor, like sour strawberry. This is for the hard candy, and something else. And then they still have the acai and
they do
spicy mango, supposedly on their regular website. So maybe it's something I will buy in the future.
Or maybe we'll ask them, hey ladies, can you do a holiday box?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, definitely. So 8 greens. First of all, I don't remember what the price point was for this, but
it was It was way more expensive than it should have been, but I guess because we're
But it's a
getting
billion lollipops. Like, first of all, they gave me, at least in my box, there's extra lollipops outside of the bag. Did you get that?
no, I didn't get a bill. I mean,
I got so extra in the box, like that were just loose in a rubber band. And then this bag comes with 10 lollipops. And these are like they look like those blow pop lollipops essentially.
yeah, yeah.
So a little different than the Tazzy, because the Tazzy is like the flat ones that you would get like in a multi-pack for Halloween. And these are more blow poppy. And supposedly they have a hard shell and a juicy interior. The
Oh no.
only I know. Oh no. Oh no. No,
Mm.
no, no, no. Um, and there's only one flavor for this, and it's called tropical citrus, which makes me nervous.
Makes
Um,
me more nervous than Simona because I'm like less excited to try things sometimes.
right, that's true. I'm always game. I'm like, oh, anchovy flavor, let's go.
It
Um,
contains soy really big on the back, by the way.
I didn't I didn't even notice that.
So,
So
so
this
she's
is something I'm gonna do for the pod as I usually do, but then it's not really something that I can consume on a daily basis, or I mean probably ever.
so my feedback with this purchase
Yeah.
was
Oh, right. You have a story.
well, no, that well, yeah, the delivery of the mess, which just that's the whole thing. But no, they are an auto subscription service.
Oh, well,
So
I
you
mean, I'm on
better
their
check your
website and it says, but you have to just make sure you click one time order. It's one of those.
so I obviously did it because then I got the email 2 days ago and I had to go through a whole fabletics situation. And can I explain to you that canceling Fabletics took me? Oh, I ended up canceling Fabletics. I don't know if you guys remember this. I feel like I talked about this in the podcast. In 2020, it was like the first thing I did. And I was like, it's gonna be a good year. I could,
I think there should be a blog post or some sort of like Instagram story of all women everywhere who ever signed up for Fabletics, because it is a very difficult thing to cancel, and it took me years to cancel it as
it took
well.
me, and it's really stressful every month, skipping the month.
Yes, because you could
And
always skip the month, and they were like, just skip the month, like don't cancel because you got in on the price point, blah blah
but you
blah.
forget, if you forget and you're
Then they
living in
charge you
paying New York City
49.95.
rent and you're getting charged $50 on your debit card and you're like,
Yeah.
no,
And
I
well,
don't
and then
need
you
these
like can
leggings.
use that money to purchase something, but guess what? Fabletics was horrible quality. It never it was horrible. It never fit me right for me personally, and it felt very cheapy. It's not like you're getting Lululemon quality stuff.
Yeah, I had one thing from Fabletics I liked, which was a jacket
Mm-hmm.
that I got, but I never was a fan of the fabric of their shirts. And I never was as big of a fan of the fabric of their leggings.
Yeah,
I
it
do
felt very
think that
tough.
I think over time they did improve some, and I remember seeing like because then I mean they were innovative in doing this early, the
Yeah,
subscription for clothes early. Like
right.
it was a very smart business. Like if
And
we're going to talk about
it's Kate Hudson again. It's got the celebrity,
yeah, if we're going to talk business model, they were a really smart business
Yeah,
model.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
but but it was anyway. It was very freeing, and I'll find it because I probably have it saved somewhere in my Instagram. But like I was like, this is gonna be a great year, and then 2020 was like the pits. But I was like, I really was so excited. I finally like you had to call them to actually cancel. It was a whole thing, and I did it, and I felt really strong about myself. And then when I got this email that was like, we're about to ship you more 8 grains, my stomach dropped. I had PTSD from
But at
Fabletics.
least you
I
saw
was
the
just
email and you could just
thank
cancel it.
God. Yeah, because I was sitting with a concussion and COVID, I cleaned my email out. So everything that I see is pretty like new and current in my email. Put everything in
Okay,
folders.
good. Good.
Yeah, but if I didn't, or if it was a normal based day, I could have just missed that, and
You would
that's
have
where the
gotten more
heart attack.
gross 8 greens. And we don't know it's gross,
We
but
don't know it's
it
gross, but
feels
I didn't
gross.
really. To me, I'm not getting. I eat a lot of vegetables. I take a lot of vitamins, so I'm not the target audience for someone who doesn't want to eat their vegetables. I
Right.
think I will say that. Am I eating probably the amount of vegetables I need? I don't know. I mean, I will, I'm super into like having a cauliflower pizza now instead of like a normal pizza some
Yeah.
days, like things like that. So I'm always into throwing more veggies into and I'm into like the Beyond Meats and all these things.
Right.
So I think I consume probably more than the
Yeah, than the
average
average
bear.
American, I
Yeah.
think.
So
And
I'm not needing candy version of
well,
veggies.
that's the thing. It's like to me, I'm like, I understand it just feels very gimmicky because, like, how could this be healthier than just eating like whole foods? Because at the
Yeah.
end of the day, like, this does have some preservatives, it's got added sugar to it.
And has added sugar, and Tazzy doesn't have any sugar.
No,
Just
Tazzy
saying.
has like, sugar alcohols, which I don't love, but I mean, it doesn't taste bad. And if you're trying to like, a diabetic should not be having 8 greens lollipops, in my opinion. I'm not a physician, but I'm just saying. So the whole story behind this is like this lady, Dawn, let's see what I forget her
Dawn
name.
Russell, which to me, I feel like
Yeah.
isn't she a little like Annie's? I feel like it was.
I don't think she's anybody. She's just so
I
she
feel like
like
we're
had
gonna hear a story in a few years where she's almost like, the Annie's brand lady, and the two of them somehow could have a
maybe.
lifetime story together. That's how I feel about.
Maybe.
That's the feeling. The girls from the Tazzy, I'm feeling very
Well,
like.
and I'm gonna just make a lot of assumptions, but based off of the videos that I saw, she seems like she's probably an anti-vaxxer. And no, I'm sorry. She's walking around barefoot on these hard pebbles the whole time in her garden, carrying
Oh,
around her children and talking about how doctors didn't really help her. And she had cancer. And
okay.
again, I think in this day and age, I guess I should believe her, but like I'm just so, used to
We're
people lying
skeptical over
about
here. We're
everything,
skeptical.
Yeah. So let's say
Brooks,
she does. Yeah,
like Brooks and
exactly.
cancer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like anybody can claim to have cancer, right? Or you think that like, they say cancer, like abnormal cells, and then you've convinced yourself you have cancer, that kind of thing,
Yeah.
right? People do it all the time. So she says that she had cancer and the doctors didn't help her and she had to figure out how to get healthy on her own. Stories like this always make me really skeptical. I'm very like, I don't necessarily trust
I
it.
will say one thing, that I do have a girlfriend that never ate vegetables. She did have cancer.
Well, she should have eaten
I'm not
vegetables.
saying that's the only reason why she got it, but it probably didn't help the situation in her body.
Yeah.
And she has to force herself to eat vegetables now, but she doesn't eat a lollipop. She just eats vegetables.
Right.
But
And I
I
think
will
that
say
that's
there's
the best way to do it. And I don't think that you need 15 cups of broccoli. Like humans aren't meant to consume that per day.
no.
So I just find the story a little strange. And she's like, greens are the most important thing that you can consume. I'm like, all right, bitch. And and
Okay,
it's like that's basically it. And I'll tell you what, each lollipop is supposed to contain as many, you know,
the packaging
vitamins and
shows you too.
minerals.
And the paper of the packaging,
I don't like it, but it could be like a recycled thing.
I think it's a recycled thing, but it's like, remember back in the day when the toilet paper was really recycled, and it was, or like the paper towels at school, those brown ones that were like
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah, 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 yeah.
rough and thin. It was
Yeah.
like the early stages of buying recycled things. It feels yucky.
Okay. I agree with
Sorry,
you.
I have to
No, it's
say.
okay. I'm just going to read really quickly what they're saying. The world's first and only lollipop with 8 real greens in it. Yeah, because who else would think to make this? I also have to say there's another company that I have tried no less than 4 times in my life. Because Tim Ferriss, he's a podcaster. pretty famous in that world. And he's always talking about efficiency and body stuff, whatever. And he suggested to get the real amount of greens that we're supposed to, that's like supposed to be very an optimal level for us, is to try this company Athletic Greens. And now every podcast that I listen to is always advertising, but I tried Athletic Greens like probably 10 to 15 years ago for the first time. Tastes disgusting. You put it in water, whatever. And so I also love how these ads are like, it tastes great. It does not taste great, in my opinion.
You put it in water.
Yeah, it's like a scoop. It's a scoop of green powder. You put it in water or juice, but I stay away from juice because it's like liquid sugar, right? So I always drank it in water and it didn't taste good. But so all these advertisements are always like, oh, as soon as I started Athletic Greens, I felt so much better. I'm telling you, Lauren, I've tried it 4 times over the last 15 years and I've given it the good college try. I never feel anything.
When you said you try it, was it like one time or you like
I did it for like couple months, or like
I wanted to clarify. I thought that's what you meant,
not
but
just
I wanted
one time. No. I tried it like
four different occasions. You went in and did
over
the regimen.
Years. Yeah, because I get sucked in with these commercials again because I'm a crazy person. And I'm like, oh, well, maybe Athletic Greens will work for me now. Just watch, like in a month, I'll try it again or something.
Yeah, I'm listening to 2 podcasts right now where Athletic Greens pops up as an ad. So.
I just I don't know what I'm supposed to feel because they act like you're supposed to have all this energy and you're feeling good and your system is working, blah, blah, blah. It's never worked for me. So I'd love to hear a real person talk about Athletic Greens and not these like paid advertisements. I'm just saying. And Athletic Greens is not affiliated with 8 Greens. I'm just saying, but they both have greens.
The same vibe.
Yeah. Although Athletic Greens, I think, is smart and is not trying to make gummies, or it's just a powder. And this is gummies and lollipops and Alka-Seltzer tabs and chewables, because that was their first product, like the Alka-Seltzer effervescent thing. And you put in water and it tastes like, I don't know, lemon
8 Grains
or apples. Yeah. That's how that was their first product. And so Lollipops is maybe like,
I mean, not 8 Greens, Athletic Greens.
No, sorry.
Oh, 8 Greens.
8 Greens.
It was. Okay.
Is the Alka-Seltzer. Athletic Greens is just a scoop of green powder. And that's all it's ever sold.
So 8 Greens has then tried other type of ways to consume
other vehicles.
I'm going to give them this. I'm going to give Miss Russell this. Like, cool to try to find alternative ways. Like, I think what
are you getting out of it? Like, I mean, I would love to see like, some sort of test of before and after of like, this is, and I don't know how you can measure the amount of greens in someone's body.
Well, and you can't measure over time. Like, to me, this is an overtime thing. Like, especially if you're trying to be preventative of cancer and things like that. If you've never really put a vegetable in your body because your parents were like, oh, the kid doesn't eat vegetables, I'm not going to force them to eat vegetables, then you're susceptible probably to more things, because do our bodies need those types of vitamins? Yes. And we're not retaining them. Right. So, the studies for something like this is got to be like 30, 40, 50 years to see if the person is getting the same kind of like one person would have to have a lollipop from the age of whatever till whatever. And then the other one eats it. And then you find if it's the same outcome.
The best way to do it is identical twins, because they would have the same
and that's genetic. Too. Yeah.
And so it would be unethical.
It'd be one of those things where it would be very unethical, actually. But it's one of those things where I think we're just, all of these companies, like they haven't gone on long enough to know if they're going to be that overall preventative or whatever.
It is just, so the claims are just like something like in one ear out the other.
So this wouldn't be a snack alternative for me, is all I'm saying, but we're trying it because we saw the ad.
Yeah. And I'll just read the list really quickly and then we should eat it. The world's first and only lollipop with 8 real greens in it, made from 8 real green spinach, kale, aloe vera, wheatgrass, blue-green algae. And she does emphasize blue-green algae for health benefits, barley grass, cholera, spirulina, that are good for your body. Guilt-free sweet treat with a yummy, chewy center, 2 different textures in one lollipop. Start with an outer hard shell, and end with a juicy, chewy filling. Provides essential greens for energy, immune support, and overall well-being. Natural tropical citrus flavor with lulo, a small tropical fruit from Colombia that means little orange in Spanish. It resembles pineapple and lemon flavor. No artificial colors. The color of the lollipop is given by the 8 greens, green color from real greens. No artificial flavors, but we do know there's soy in it. Why is there soy in this?
It's just all of this just seems very like granola. Like
Yeah,
this
but
whole
fake granola. It's like money granola, you know?
yeah, a money granola. That's what we're Monsanto granola.
Did you open it?
I licked that.
Oh, you did? Well, it's a nice pale green color.
And with a recycled stem. Like it just doesn't feel fun as a
I
lollipop.
can't even fucking open this. All right, Jesus Christ. How does it smell?
It smells like stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't have a distinct smell.
It doesn't smell like candy. It doesn't taste.
Keep my.
It doesn't taste awful, but it doesn't taste like much.
I'm gonna put my whole mouth on it.
I did too. It's not like groundbreaking.
Okay, it tastes tropical. It's not bad,
but it fades really quick. The taste, like once you get it out of your mouth, it fades.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I mean, it's if like somebody handed this to me as like a candy, like, oh, you want this? I'd be like, all right, it's not bad.
It looks like a Brussels sprout on a recycled stick.
Yeah, it does.
If somebody gave this to me for Halloween, though, I'd be very upset about it.
Well, yeah, I mean, you want
because the packaging just screams healthy.
It does have a nice tropical flavor, though. The more that you like a nice.
I am terrified to bite into this, but I feel like we should.
We have to.
Ugh. Barf brush.
It's making my mouth very juicy, though. Like it's making the salivary.
It just looks like you're eating a Brussels sprout on a stick. I
don't like the texture. Like the Tazzy had a smooth texture, and this has a grainy texture on the outer shell. You don't like that?
I just bit it.
You spit it out?
I bit it. I had too much of it in my mouth.
Oh.
The outer shell.
I'm trying to bite it, but I'm worried about my teeth.
I know. I was too, but I did it for all of you out there. It does the same thing a blow pop does when you bite it, and it gets really stuck in your.
How's that inside?
It's like the inside of a Brussels sprout.
It's like a whiter green, but so far I haven't been able to eat the chewy part yet. I'm just getting through the outer shell.
All right, I'm eating the chewy part. It's really hard. It's gonna pull a filling out of my mouth. It tastes the same though. It's just really hard.
The chewy part is hard.
I guess if I'm keep eating it, like I feel like the chewy part in it instead of a lollipop is always hard.
Yeah, it's got the texture of like a Tootsie Pop.
Right, which is hard. It's harder than a Tootsie Pop, in my opinion.
Oh, maybe. I can't use the right side of my mouth. That's a problem. Because I just got like a crown in there.
Right. You got a crown? Ow. See what I'm saying? Zam doesn't like it. You hear him.
You guys have to watch the YouTube video of this because I look insane. Okay, so far I've bitten it twice. I'm showing you. It looks insane. I've yet to find this juicy center.
It's just not. It's still hard.
It's like a Tootsie Pop. Hard. It's a stale.
It's like
Tootsie
an
Pop.
old Tootsie Pop. You know when like it's an older Tootsie Pop and it's not
I do like
soft.
when Tootsie Pops are older, personally.
But you're not the first person to say that to me, but it's too hard in the middle. It tasted
not bad. I actually
the flavor tasted the same in each area. It's just I think in the center it was less potent than it was in the when you're first eating it. It's one of those candies you got to kind of keep in your mouth. The flavor dies very quickly.
Yeah.
For what it's supposed to do, or if it's giving you any nutrients, it doesn't taste bad.
No, it tastes like candy.
and it doesn't leave like, I don't know how else to explain this other than I've had chewies and stuff like that too, even vitamins, that after you've done with it, it leaves a chalky taste in your mouth, like a vitamin chalky taste.
Yeah.
That doesn't leave. Now, again, this isn't a vitamin. It's supposed to have greens of whatever, but it still doesn't leave that chalky taste. So they did something right with whatever the recipe is there. I'm sure there's a market for this. I'm sure people, like I said, I don't know how the studies would pan out unless it was very specific over 50 years.
Yeah.
But it, to me, this isn't a fun lollipop. But it's not marketed as a fun lollipop. It's marketed
No,
as
it's like a health lollipop. Like
a
I think
health
this
lollipop.
episode I'm gonna call healthy lollipops, because Tazzy, at least, it doesn't have any sugar, it's vegan, whatever. And 8Greens is marketed towards like a healthy lollipop,
But I mean, still, as an adult, if we're considering both of these more like adult lollipops, I'm still gonna go for the one that looks more fun.
Yeah, no, I mean, and I think that a Tazzy is not trying to tell you that it's something that it's not. Whereas 8Greens, I don't know if you're actually truthful in your claims,
Yeah, I mean, even on their front packaging for Tazzy, although they do have like the natural food colors, vegan, blah blah blah, all that on the front, the front side. The back side explains a little bit more than, um, leaving the sugar behind, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And
I think that it's better to have something that's, I mean, personally, in my, learning about health, sugar is like always the number one culprit of bad things. So I would rather have a lollipop that's healthier, that is low sugar, than something that claims to have, 15 cups of vitamin B5 as 15 cups of broccoli, vitamin C as 2 oranges, vitamin B6 as 15 cups of spinach, vitamin B12 as 7 cups of milk, and zinc as 3 cups of raw peas in one lollipop, but also 10 grams of sugar. Right? Yeah, 10 grams of sugar on this. And it includes 10 added sugars, meaning that none of these sugars are coming from any place else except for table sugar, they've added it. So to me, I am like, well, which is actually healthier, one that doesn't have sugar or one that does? To me, one that doesn't.
Yeah. Interesting. And the Tazzy has dietary fiber in it.
Yeah, usually like these now newfangled low sugar things, like there's this chocolate that my manager turned me on to, which is sugar free but uses like beet fiber to create like the sweetness, and you wouldn't know. And it's not like sugar alcohol. It doesn't have any artificial taste.
I think the world is a little fiber deficient, I think, for the most part.
Well, yeah, people are always constipated.
Yeah. So I think that's interesting.
And it has stevia leaf, surprisingly, in these Tazzies. And I hate stevia and I did not taste it. So I think that says a lot. Well, two interesting lollipops.
They honestly both didn't taste bad, but I will say, to me, Tazzy markets more to Lauren.
Yeah,
that's what I'm.
I mean, me too. And also, I don't trust 8Greens. So,
and we're snackers. We're not like, and we're good eaters too.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest, we eat healthy and like good food too. We're not just eating candy. So I think I was such a good eater as a kid. I got to eat dessert first sometimes because I would always eat my meal. That was something that I was able to do. So even as like a young kid. So I mean, I think to me, this isn't a versus, but I would say like I gravitate towards what Tazzy's selling me than 8Grains. If you guys have tried 8Grains or anybody has any feedback on it, I'm calling it grains.
I'm like, are you calling it 8Grains? 8Greens. There's no grain in it. It's gluten.
There's no grain in it. 8Greens. I'm sorry. If you tried it, let us know and give us any information if it's made you feel better, if you are a very anti-veggie type person. But it looks like Tazzy you'd be able to find in most places now. It might just start popping up in your grocery store too, which is cool. But yeah, I think that's it. I feel like I'm
Yeah,
being
that's
very
it.
anticlimactic, but like it was good. This is a fun episode back, honestly.
Yeah. 2 new things that we have never tried. So that's always exciting.
Down the gullet.
Yes. All right. Well, until next time. Nah.